Hello and welcome to another episode of Boxing with Paul. And today, I'm excited to bring the iPhone SE 2 or the iPhone SE 2020. Whatever you call it, let's take a look at it. As you may or may not be aware, Apple has started shipping iPhones with these slimmer boxes that Apple claims is for an environmentally friendly reason. However, we all know that's a bunch of BS. As always, Apple's packaging looks great and feels great, and this is something I haven't said in a while, but it is always nice to see or nice to feel just a high quality box. As if you run your finger through the outline of the iPhone, you will actually be able to feel a raised bump and a texture surface that is going to let you feel and see just how big exactly your iPhone is. And this is a true to size comparison. This is a great way for me to be able to just pull out a box and be able to show a consumer or a customer, hey, by the way, this is exactly as big as your iPhone is going to be. As stated earlier, Apple has started shipping these iPhones with these slimmer boxes about 3 years ago, which again they claimed was for an environmentally friendly reason, which means that now you're no longer getting a power brick included. You will have to go out and purchase your very own power brick. In addition to that, you will only get a power cable. Now, what's making this such a big deal, what's making this even more inconvenient is the fact that this power cable that comes included is a Type-C to Lightning cable. Now, of course, Lightning is what's used for iPhones. However, I bet the majority of consumers, or at least when this first came out, the majority of consumers did not have a Type-C adapter. So this meant you had to go out of your way, you had to go to Walmart, you had to go to Target, Apple, wherever you may purchase your electronics from, and go and purchase specifically a Type-C wall adapter in order to be able to charge your brand new shiny iPhone. Because again, I know a lot of us at this point have Type-C chargers, but back when this first came out, this is completely brand new and a lot of people were completely caught off guard. Again, they had to go out of their way and purchase separate Type-C adapters because once more, they do not come included in the box. We also got a very short quick start guide that tells you to power on the phone, to power it off, charging with a Qi certified wireless charger, the Touch ID, and that's literally it for the quick start guide. Apple has now cheapened out, and now we've gone with a very cheap SIM ejector tool that is just those very cheap twisted wire kind that used to be included with those very cheap Androids, and now unfortunately Apple and Samsung are also doing the same thing just to cut corners, just to cut some money somewhere. And it's a little bit sad to see that the biggest companies are the ones that cheap out the most oftentimes. We also have a safety sheet as well, letting you know there's a lasers to avoid human damage and all that good stuff on this phone. Just basically Apple covering themselves. And last but not least, one of the most important things is the Apple sticker. Now, this Apple sticker, again, as Apple has pledged themselves to fight climate change, this Apple sticker now, instead of it being back with this glossy plastic, it is now back with sort of a wax paper, again, part of Apple's pledge to be more environmentally friendly. And no, there's no hidden case under here. I know, like, the kids in TikTok like to say there's a case learning here, right? Let me just prove there's absolutely nothing here. Okay, so stop going after that. That's 100% of it. Now here is the iPhone SE itself. Again, it is a phone very much reminiscent of the iPhone 6, the 7, and even the 8, as Apple has used the very same chassis for that as they did for the iPhone SE 2 and even the 3. You do have volume down, volume up, as well as a silent sliding switch, all on the very same side. Very customary of Apple. And then when we look over at the top, it's a very plain look with absolutely nothing going on. When we look over on the right side, we can see our power button as well as our SIM tray to hold our SIM card. And when we go to the bottom, we can see our 2 speaker grills as well as our lightning port. And it's good to know that this phone is IP67 water resistant. It is able to resist up to 1 meter of water for up to 30 minutes. And it's also splash and dust resistant. This one looks just like an iPhone 8 with its glass front and back, and as well as a 4.7 750 by 1334 IPS display. Inside, we're going to have 64 gigabytes of storage, coupled with 3 gigabytes of RAM, and the same A13 Bionic processor that is found in the iPhone 11. Something that is definitely worth noting is that we often don't get to see what makes a phone waterproof or what makes a phone water resistant, but I think that Apple does a very good job of, again, making their phones water resistant. But you can see very clearly on the SIM ejector tool that there is a rubber gasket going all around the SIM ejector tool that helps keep water out. Now again, the back of the phone is made out of glass, so I would be very careful with this, but I do believe we do still have quad LED flashing in here. What's going to go ahead and make this phone look and feel dated is going to be the home button. However, it's gone ahead and it's proven to be quite useful, especially during COVID, whenever masks were being used and you needed a very quick way of being able to unlock your phone. That home button with that Touch ID became a very relevant and very useful feature, as well as having a 7 megapixel sensor for our selfie lens. However, remember that numbers aren't everything. Now, the phone itself, like I said, is basically a beefed up 8, coming in at 138.4 by 67.3 by 7.3 millimeters. So it's fairly small, and again, basically the same size, and it weighs 148 grams. So it definitely feels solid in the hand, where smartphones in the majority are getting bigger, and it's nice to have a smaller option, especially now that Apple took away that mini option with the iPhone 14, where it's just the iPhone 14, the iPhone 14 Plus, and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Inside, we're going to have a hexa-core processor, which is just a fancy way of saying we have 6 cores, with 2 of them being clocked in at 2.65 gigahertz for those heavier, more power-intensive tasks, and then the remaining 4 being clocked in at 1.8 gigahertz for those lighter day-to-day tasks. As far as our communications go, we're going to have dual-band Wi-Fi AC, Bluetooth 5.0, and NFC for Apple Pay. And for Geekbench, I wound up looking these numbers online, as I still haven't paid for it myself, I'll be honest with you guys. And the numbers that were posted online were a 3237, which is quite impressive for a budget phone. One of the big selling features about this iPhone is the fact that it does have just as powerful or just as high-end a camera as an iPhone 11, without the wide lens, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go take a picture in portrait mode, and then keep in mind that we're all similarly lit, so all the lights are turned on. And let's go ahead and take one in cheese. So then that was a selfie in portrait mode on the iPhone SE. And let's go ahead and shoot some video real quick. With the iPhone 11, you can shoot in 4K with the forward-facing camera in 60 frames per second, where the maximum we'll be able to shoot with the iPhone SE will be 1080p at 30 frames per second. And then this is what video looks and sounds like on the iPhone SE forward-facing camera, the selfie camera. This is actually a fairly good camera. We look very nice, we look very good, it is very well toned. We can see that the algorithm is definitely just a little bit different than that of the iPhone 12s. We're a little bit warmer looking. However, it's not a bad camera at all. You guys be the judge of that. Again, just how good or how bad the forward-facing camera on the iPhone SE may be. And then this is where, again, the iPhone SE's camera is supposed to shine, as again, the iPhone SE 2 camera on the rear is supposed to, again, be just as good as the iPhone 11 camera, with it being able to shoot 4K 60 frames per second, and again, just as powerful as the iPhone 11 camera, while being a fraction of the price. Again, you guys will be judged of how good or how bad that camera is. The iPhone SE, even though it is not MagSafe enabled, you can still go ahead and charge it with a wireless charger, it's still Qi wireless enabled. So let's go ahead and put it on so you can see that it is in fact wireless charging enabled. Again, not a MagSafe, but at least wireless or Qi charging enabled. So you can still, it still has all the modern amenities of a modern phone. Let's go ahead and fire up some games. Well, at least one in particular, my favorite game as of late, Super Mega Champions. This is a very active game that will let you get all the way up to 60 frames per second in the settings, as you guys can see. So in order to prove to you guys that the processor is just as efficient as the one on the iPhone 11, not only am I going to go ahead and play Super Mega Champions on 60 frames per second. I'm going to go ahead and play it on low settings though, but I do want that 60 frames per second just so that I can go ahead and move around a little bit quicker and go ahead and be able to pawn some noobs. Okay, and here we go. Let's go. Okay, so our teammates are, where are they? Teammates are way down there. Oh man. So I'll be honest with you guys, this looks a little bit, just a teeny bit smaller than it would on my iPhone 11, but to be honest with you, I don't feel like there's any compromise in speed or in feel or in responsiveness. Oh man, there's someone nearby. Oh, they're coming for us. What's coming for us? Somebody's gonna come for us. Somebody's coming for us. Somebody's definitely coming for us. Oh man, and we're so outgunned. And they literally took up all the good stuff. It's okay.
I didn't want these items.
Yeah, we can do good. Hold on. We can do well.
Wait, I heard something. I didn't want these items.
My teammates are so flipping far away. saying new. They're not new to me. I've had all these things.
Perfect step. Faster would be better.
It sounds like the T-Rex is coming along. Dum, 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 dum. Ooh, and my ears are buzzing. Somebody's talking shit about me. Yeah, my ears are definitely a buzzing. It's nice to get back to Paul Place. Paul Place.
Faster would be better.
Everybody's fighting hard for the title.
Definitely got a little dark. Yeah, so I can definitely tell the phone is heating up, but it's not heating up any more than an iPhone 11 would, to be honest with you. Finding some action. There we go.
The way you pilot a mess.
Come on, let's get to it. Have to. Let's go.
Battle is not the time to zone out. Compatibility with the mech is so important. Yeah,
Come on,
it hurts a little. destination. Faster would be better.
These airplanes are so loud.
I should get...
Of a minor mishap.
Jeez Louise. Man, we gotta basically hand it to her right quick.
Attention! The deal has been confirmed. We're about to reach the climax.
I should get...
Oh no, come on. Where did I do that? Where did I stay? Why did I flip and stay? Come on, buddy, come on. You guys gotta bail me out. Otherwise, this is gonna be a very embarrassing end. Oh my god, it totally is. Come on, guys, bail me out, bail me out, bail me out, guys, bail me out. I need some help. Some assistance, please. Some assistance is required. Some help. 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 Help.
We need help here.
Oh no. Help. 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 I need some help. Ah, what a piece of crap. It's okay. So, okay, in short, you can pretty much play a game on this phone. And again, keep in mind this is shaped like an iPhone 6, like a 7 and an 8, and it did its job just fine. It performed just like an iPhone 11 would. And again, if you're looking to get into the ecosystem, this is probably the quickest way to do it. I'll be honest with you. This is a fairly good phone if you want to get into the ecosystem. If you want to go ahead and have an iOS device, you've never had an iOS device, or you need an iOS device somewhere, this is the cheapest way for you to get in there while still remaining relevant. I think you're still going to have at least 3 more years worth of updates on this, so you should still be pretty okay. And again, it's still an iOS device. It's still a pretty good camera, especially if you want to use it for something like, podcasting or taking videos. It's a fairly decent camera. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Again, go to them in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.